What's up, everybody? It's 2 o'clock. It is a wonderful Monday here in the bullpen. I am Tony Mack. That is Tricky Ricky. We're here live at Toyota Field in Madison, where the Angels affiliate, the Rocket City Trash Pandas, the AA affiliate of Los Angeles Angels, will get underway a month from today. Today is March 6th, right? March 6th?
Bingo.
April 6th is when the Trash Pandas play. So March 6th, April 6th. That's 1 month.
Great job, dude.
1 month away, dude.
The calendar ain't got a chance at getting one over on you, buddy.
That's right. That's right. So we've got plenty to talk about leading up to that. In fact, the Angels' updated top 30 prospect list, according to MLB.com, is out. We can go over how many of those guys we've seen, guys that we probably will see.
Is this all of baseball or just the Angels?
The Angels' top 30. The updated Angels' top 30 prospect list.
Okay.
That we have coming up. We had the NFL Combine this weekend, and God bless it, I don't like to sit here and say, toot my own horn or anything, but
what instrument was that?
That was a high like C, you know what I mean?
It was
a good note. Pretty much everything I predicted in terms of the quarterback outing at the Combine came true. What was going to happen, what people were going to fall in love with, and how torn everybody is on that. And then also another local story about a rec league basketball team that won a title but was refused a trophy. So
I think I read about that.
I read about it here a little bit ago. I got the notification this morning. People were very upset about it. I just went and looked it over again. We'll talk about that. So first and foremost, let's go ahead and get into the Angels' top 30. I mean, plenty of guys that we've seen before that we're probably going to see again. So I'm going to retweet the come hang out with us.
Hello to Robert, by the way, in the chat early, saying hello.
Hey,
hello,
Robert.
pal.
He does that a lot, dude.
Hope you had a solid weekend.
I'm sure you
I had
did.
a pretty chill weekend. How about yourself?
It was nice, dude.
Yeah?
It was really nice. Other than Friday, the wind we got on Friday just absolutely destroyed my roof.
I hate what happened to your house, but your commentary through text cracked me up.
Dude, it's exact.
Fresh off of what we talked about for events in a hypothetical dad combine, you got home and you were thrust right into a dad combine of your own.
Oh, assessing damage.
Oh,
was 100%. And like again, it's not all
stuff.
about like how it's not all about the outcome of the assessment. Like, I need a new roof. That's cool if you know that.
Yeah.
But it's how you assess the roof. And I was in full peak dad form. I'm out there. I'm standing in the middle of my yard. I got one hand on my hip. I got one hand like this, shading out the sun, doing the visor. Like,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I could see you you described it like I thought I was reading the poetry of Robert Frost with all the adjectives and descriptors you had in there. But yeah, when you were like total dad mode right now, hands on hips, using one hand as a visor, like
had to go to Lowe's, get tarps.
Hands real high on the not even on the hips.
Yeah, sometimes I'll hit the rib cage, but I had the one visor going. I'm like,
I find that I've noticed that with fellas that whenever they get into that pose, like if the hands on hips are down here, it's like I got a problem. They go up here, like whoa. Yeah, they go up under your armpits. You're trying to fly away. You got a real problem on your hands.
It's like this is like aggravation. You know what I mean?
This is extremely uncomfortable too. So there's no reason why you would do this unless you were thrust with a situation that only dad skills can handle. Right? Like, my wrists are killing me right now from doing that.
I'll walk you through it here.
awful.
Hands on the hips.
Ugh.
You're in control. You're aggravated, but you're in control of the situation, right? Like this guy over here thinks he's, but you know better, right?
Yeah.
Right. The higher you go, the more like unfortunate and unsure you are. Like it's natural damage, man. That tornado wiped out the
When
whole.
do you go?
know
When do you
what I
go
mean?
from backhand to forehand? Because like you went forehand here, and then
handles
you
here.
get up here, and it's like whoa.
You got the handles on the hips, right?
Okay.
Up here, you may not. It's not comfy. Your wrists kind of relax
Okay.
on your little muffin tops if you.
Oh,
got
you
'em.
just fit it right up in that, up in them saddlebags.
Yeah, that's right.
I got you. All right.
Austin gets in. He says, "What's up? So ready for some Trash Pandas baseball games next month again? 1 month from today.
Only one.
1 month from today. Trash Pandas baseball is here. So get your tickets. TrashPandasBaseball.com if you want to go ahead and secure those. Again, a lot of baseball has been going on. I don't know. The people have been paying attention to spring training. People have also been paying attention to Japanese baseball because Shohei Ohtani is playing over there for Japan, and he hit like 2 or 3 home runs today, a couple 3-run home runs. While we were in our meeting this morning, one of them was from his knees, or from a knee. So that's pretty cool.
From a knee?
Yeah, he swung, and then he ended up down on one knee, and ended up being a home run.
That's some grown man strength.
Yeah, man, the word around the training this year is that Shohei Ohtani's pretty good. He's pretty good.
Is he getting thick now? Is he going to be thick now? Is he getting beefy?
I hadn't seen.
He's bringing the power.
I haven't seen any Wagyu beef on there, dude.
Okay.
I think he's
right.
nice and lean. You know what I mean?
That's probably good. Mm-hmm. You don't need no big beefy pitcher out there.
He's doing just fine.
Okay.
Doing just fine.
All right.
Doing just good. Speaking of doing just fine, we got our top 30 prospects for the Angels. The list in this weekend, and several of these guys we've seen. I'm excited to see this list to see how many of them we will get to see here in the upcoming years. But number 1 and number 2 on the list we saw last year. Logan O'Hoppe, the number 1 prospect for the Angels. Zach Neto, the number 2 prospect for the Angels. Looking like we might get some, according to this, we might get some Zach Neto this year.
Oh, they got projections on where they'll play?
It said ETA will be 2024. The level that he's played so far is AA.
I like that.
So
Neto's projected at AA, huh?
well, that's just where he's played before, like the highest level he's played, I believe. They're projecting him to go to Major League Baseball in 2024. O'Hoppe played in the majors last year.
I was going to say, some of those projections don't really make sense.
Yeah.
All right.
So, but his ETA in the majors for Neto is 2024. So he could be in AAA ball, could be back with us. That'd be pretty sweet. See Neto back here. Great shortstop.
Yeah, O'Hoppe's about to find his way off the prospect list and onto the Major League Baseball players list. So O'Hoppe's going to be in there. Neto, it'd be cool to see him for a little bit. Who knows? I know we'll see O'Hoppe and Neto in bobblehead form this season. O'Hoppe's, I believe, in like the first full homestand of the season there in April. Neto's a little later, about mid-season. So even if we don't see him, you'll be able to bring home a little piece of Trash Panda history home with you on those days. Check out TrashPandasBaseball.com and our promo schedule for more on that one. Number 3, though, catcher Edgar Cuero.
How about that? You go from Logan O'Hoppe, who we had last year, the number 1 prospect for the Angels, probably going to be between AAA and the major leagues for most of the spring, and then into the summer, probably going to be with the major league club. Where we replace that with what? The number 3 prospect, who is also a catcher, as you mentioned, Edgar Cuero.
Feels like a guy we're going to get.
Oh, yeah.
Right off the bat. I mean, he played high A ball all last season. He's the 3rd-ranked prospect, so he's definitely going to be moving up. We'll probably get him to start, and if he plays well, who knows? He might be one of those guys like last season that go back and forth, but I would imagine Cuero would get from the start.
Oh, I can't wait.
Now, I'm basing that off no expertise.
Yeah, absolutely none. We're speculating. We don't
thing.
know anything.
But as far as experts in seeing how this organization works for 2 years with its prospects, we know the people who could call themselves that, so we're pretty close.
Yeah,
we're there. We know some of the real ones, so we're
pretty good feel about it.
Associate experts on this topic.
By the way, Lucas, who takes the picture of us every day before we go on, he's pretty good at this stuff, right? He says, "Hey, the Angels' top 30 prospect list is out. If you guys want to talk about that."
Thanks for listening. Appreciate
Thanks,
it.
Lucas.
Thanks for listening, buddy. Appreciate it. He's a busy man.
Appreciate
he ain't got time for this.
Download
it later.
That was the plan. I got on and I'd seen it before the show. Chase Silseth, Kai Bush, number 4 and 5 on the top 30 list. A little send off for our former Trash Pandas. They're probably not coming back.
Yeah, you got to think Chase. I'm seeing that he might start off in the bullpen for the Angels. Maybe be a final starter. I don't know. Kai Bush, probably AAA, I would imagine. He played in the Futures All-Star game last season.
They're both projected to be in the major leagues this season.
He was so good for us last year. I mean, he was better than most of the competition he faced. I wouldn't be surprised if he went up. But the name after him, though.
It's Kai Bush. And then we've got Sam Bachman, number 6 on the list. I've already heard that, because he was battling an injury last year, we probably are going to get Bachman back. And he's trickled down the list. He was like top 2, top 3 on the top 30 last year.
Well, former first-round pick. The season after Detmers was their first-round pick. And Bachman's good, but he's dealt with injuries early on. So I think that's why it's kind of stalled him, where I think we'll start off with Bachman. I've seen some videos of him that look really good.
He's built like a pitcher. He's a specimen.
He is, man. As a man. A very sweaty one at that.
And he's not super tall. He's like 6'1". He's like your height, but he's a man.
But thank you for calling me 6'1". I appreciate that.
Yeah, you're about 6 foot, 6'1".
Yeah.
I'm 5'11".
I'm 6
and you're
foot.
taller.
I'll go 6'1", though. You round up at 6'6".
Want to know the math on that later, but okay.
So is Sam Bachman. So he's a 6'1", round up 6'6" type prospect. And I'm really looking forward to seeing him with us. And if things go how they should with Sam, he'll be moving on up that ladder as well.
Yeah. Let's see. Jeffrey Long gets in, and he says, "Pump for some baseball. Got to catch a game once the semester ends." Get over here, Jeffrey.
You no doubt have to do that. Yeah, you got a whole summer worth of games once the semester ends.
Robert says, "Wonder if we'll see Jeremiah Jackson in Rocket City this year." I would imagine. My instinct, my gut feeling is Jeremiah will be back.
Another guy last year who dealt with injuries. We didn't see Jeremiah till, I think he was out at least the first month or two of the season. Then he got in there and got hot. I mean, red hot. And then he kind of cooled down over there, but it's a solid player. I mean, he was on SportsCenter's top 10 a couple times. Great season from him last year. I wouldn't be surprised if we got him to start off, maybe playing, second base or short. Where they got him listed at both positions. With Soto going up last year, with Neto in the fold there at shortstop, I could see Jeremiah Jackson starting here. But I don't know. That kind of depends on who's below him. He may be a AAA guy too.
Number 15 on the list, by the way, Jeremiah Jackson is number 15 on the prospect list. Between him and Sam Bachman, who's at number 6, some guys that we've seen already here in the Rocket City. Kyron Paris comes in at number 10 on the list. He is estimated to be in the major leagues by 2024.
And after I see a lot of these guys on this list that are shortstops, second baseman that all played high A, now it feels like Jeremiah Jackson might be.
Yeah, I mean,
he might start off Salt Lake.
Look at the 3. We saw these 3 moved around the infield last year. Kyron Paris, Jeremiah Jackson, Levon Soto, after we got Neto here, because Neto was like a full-time shortstop, one of the top prospects for the Angels. So we saw the infield get shifted around a ton with those guys. So while they're still trying to find a place in the field, when you got a guy like Neto who's eventually going to be their shortstop, I would imagine we're going to see a few of these guys here.
Yeah, definitely Kyron Paris, who came in late last year.
Yeah.
He was only 20 when he got here, so I'd imagine he's got a good shot of being back.
Kyron Paris is number 10 on the list, listed at shortstop, second base. Ben Joyce, number 11 on the list. He is estimated to join the major leagues by 2024. I would love to see him back here, the fireman. Would love to see him back here. I would imagine that if he does come back at any point at the beginning of the season here in Rocket City, it's got to be short-lived.
I'm back. I don't know if he is back though. Is
that Lil Wayne's Fireman?
That was.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a poor rendition of it. Maybe he will show up and go, I'm back, but I don't know, man. He's throwing some real heat, but he wasn't here very long last year. One of those guys like Neto, like Sonny D, like Kyron Paris, who came in late, young guy. I honestly don't know where he'll start off.
The one thing for me with him is that he didn't throw many innings in a row. It was always he'd come in for an inning, right?
Right.
Maybe at the end of the year he got a couple in back-to-back. I don't remember all that much, but he was a one-inning guy last year. So I could see either if it's here or AAA, him working in more innings before he's
that kind of stuff we saw from Joyce, though. Like that feels like they're grooming him for a closer role.
The way
you
would
would think. I mean, 103 to 80.
Yeah, as fast
it feels
as
like
throws.
Kimbrel back in the day. Like he's going to throw you gas or he's going to hit you with the breaking ball. You know it's going to be that. Good luck.
Yeah, speed-wise, I immediately think of Aroldis Chapman, how fast he was throwing, especially when he came into the league. So, yeah, obviously with how fast he throws, closer feels right. But I'm sure they just want to see what he's got. That off speed is so sick. Like you said, you're going from 100. He's throwing an average of 101, 102 miles an hour here last year, and then he hits you with an off speed of like 82. It's nasty. How do you catch up to that?
And plus, how do you get over the fear? You're up there thinking, I'm terrified. I just think I'd be that way all the time as a baseball player. That's probably not mentally something they're thinking of because they see fast pitches all the time. But maybe there is a little, just a little bit where you're like, dude, if his hand's just a little sweaty, like I could be in trouble.
Until you get up to the plate, you have some sense of security too. You got your little helmet. You think, okay, well my head's protected.
Hey, I got this thin padding here on my elbow.
I got the padding.
I'll be all right.
I've got a bat. Some false sense of security, but when you get to the plate and you realize there's nothing protecting you, it's just you and that guy. Yeah, I'd probably.
Not to mention he looks like a lumberjack.
Oh, Ben Joyce. Oh, he's like 6'5". He's like a legit 6'5", 6'6". You don't need to round up for that. He's a very big person.
Yeah.
Really nice, though. I got to interview him in here last year.
I got to talk about somebody else. His presence alone is scaring me.
Which
is a great thing.
Hoppy, number 1. Zach Neto, number 2. Chase Silseth, number 4. Kai Bush, number 5. Sam Bachman, the number 6 prospect in the Angels baseball. That's 5 of the top 6 we've seen here already in the Rocket City. You got Ben Joyce at number 11. Kyron Paris at number 10. Don't want to forget him. You've got Jeremiah Jackson at 15. Levon Soto at 16. Mason Erla at 18, Coleman Crow at 21, Eric Torres at 23, and Jordan Adams at 30. So we've seen at least 13, 14 of these guys in the top 30 here in the Rocket City. So again, if you want to come check out some baseball, some minor league baseball, you're not just getting a fun experience. That's what the big draw is. Get out here out in a beautiful day during the summer or early spring and enjoy the entertainment that Ricky puts on for you in the field. But when you see these guys take the field, 14 of the top 30 prospects, that's almost half of their top prospects in their organization, played here last year.
I find it very interesting, too. If you look at that list, look up and down that list. Is there one guy whose highest level of baseball played was AAA?
No.
Not a single one.
Going back. Nope.
All of these guys that played in the pros that were on our team went straight from the Pandas to the pros. There's not a single guy in their top 30 prospects
that came through
that
here.
That highest level that they've played is just AAA. Yeah. That should tell you of the quality of baseball you're getting at this level and with this organization.
Absolutely.
Like, we're not just the middle ground between rookie ball and, that last step before the pros. This is a valued team organization within the Angels scheme of things. That's correct. Is there another team that can? I don't know if other teams have released reports like that, but I feel like that's not a common thing. Where out of your 30 top prospects, not one of them's highest level has been AAA.
Doesn't feel like it, but that probably also has a lot to do with the Angels on the major league level. Really need some retooling. And they're trusting in their farm system. So we are a very lucky byproduct of that. They got some great prospects. They know they had to work their farm system, and those guys are getting an opportunity to go to the major leagues pretty quickly because the major league team really needs some help. Whereas you look at the Braves, they've pretty much got everything solidified other than certain spots. You've seen, 2 guys that weren't pitchers get called up this last year from AA to AAA. You had Vaughn Grissom, and then you had Michael Harris second, right? So because the Braves are pretty sure – throughout the rest of their team, the Angels really need a lot of help. So, you're seeing a lot of the help on the major league level is coming through us. And it's some pretty awesome baseball. Let's see. Virgil gets in on YouTube, and he says, I'm hoping to see Landon Marceau this year. He has a good showing in high A before injuries. I just can't wait to announce that name.
Landon Marceau.
Marceau.
You going to, do a French thing? Oui. Look, I got the Braves' top 30 prospects up here. Their number 1 prospect, highest level he's ever played, AAA. Number 10 prospect, highest level he's ever played, AAA. 11, AAA. Their 26th ranked guy, highest level, AAA. So there's 4 right there for the Braves. Let's go random team. Chicago White Sox. The number 2 prospect, AAA.
Oscar Colas. We've seen
Colas, who we've seen a lot of. AAA. Sean Burke, number 5 prospect in their system.
Oscar Colas is a very good baseball player. We've seen him.
Yeah. Number 23 in their system, AAA. Number 29. That's 4 for the Braves, 4 for the White Sox, 2 random teams. The Angels, 0. Mm-hmm. That should tell you what kind of team the Pandas put out now.
And what's the one thing you remember when people talk about the Stars when they were here before? The one thing they love to tell you is, "Oh, I got to see so and so play. I got to see so and so play. They went to the major leagues, right? You got to see those big name players that played here in Huntsville. I mean, we're telling that story right now. I mean, we're at the early stages of it. But in 10 years, you're going to be able to say, I saw Reed Detmers play. You know that guy who threw the only solo no-hitter in baseball last year in Major League Baseball? Yeah, I watched him in the Rocket City that one time.
Three guys in the Brewers system, by the way. AAA.
Logan O'Hoppe, who could end up being a perennial all-star in Major League Baseball. I got to see him in the Rocket City, right? We're those stories that you have from the Stars, we're starting those here. Like a lot of these guys you're really going to start to hear a lot of at the next level, whether it be here or they get moved to another team, as we've seen some guys from that 21 team already get moved around in Major League Baseball. So great thing we have here. Rocket City. Tanner gets in and says, Rocket City is the path to the pros. It absolutely is. Like Ricky said, that's what you're going through our prospect list and showing that the guys that left Double-A, especially in the top 30 prospect list, that left Double-A didn't stop at Triple-A. Several of them got called straight up to Major League Baseball last year. So we got a great thing going on right here.
I just looked through 8 teams. It's definitely an outlier to not have one of your top 30 prospects ever play Triple-A baseball.
Absolutely. So come check it out. Hey, I'm interested in the Marceau guy to be here a little more. So
we got to see him a little bit last year.
Yep, very little. So
very little.
That made 14 of the top 30 that were here in the Rocket City last year.
Can't wait to see it, man. Looks like we got a lot of good players coming in. How many of those guys highest level of single A ball?
There was a couple.
1, 2, 3. Keep going. 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
10.
So 10 out of so 14 out of the top 30 have come through here. 10 out of the top 30 that include none of those 14 I just mentioned coming from single A ball.
They're probably going to be here soon.
Probably this year, and probably going to be pretty good. I mean, 10 on that list that have never played Double-A ball.
I mean, we keep running out of catchers, so I'd imagine Cuero's going to be here.
That's what I'm saying.
I guess he'll be here sometime. You know, so
that's awesome, dude. That is awesome.
It's pretty great to be here and get to experience all that. Robert said, yes, he did, Virgil. And some great players from Inland Empire I've seen last year as well as it might show up this year. So come out and check out the Trash Pandas. 1 month from today, we start the campaign in 2023. We were the regular season champs, both the first and second half of the season last year. Got some ground to make up when it comes to playoffs, though. Fell to the Smokies. Hope to get that one back. That's turned into a pretty nice rivalry, though. I like playing them because they're a good ball club, usually good games, and it's chippy. So
that's what's weird about this league is we have a new rival every year. You know, it was Chattanooga the first season, then it became Tennessee last year. I wonder who it'll be this upcoming season.
I'm sure
it'll be somebody.
If you can hit a home run over the batter's eye, you're our rival. So come and take your shot.
Chattanooga does that to us every year. Some guy on that squad hits a bomb.
What was the guy's name?
De La Cruz.
De La Cruz. Thank
He's
you.
like 6'6".
What is his first name? I cannot think of his first name.
Ely.
It's like Ellie.
Elly.
Yeah. Ely De La Cruz. He hit the longest home run I think I may have ever seen. It's between that one and Trey Cabbage's home run from last year. The longest home runs I've ever seen. That's another guy, by the way, who's at spring training who it looks like, based on his average and what he's doing, he might come spend some more time down here. So that'd be cool.
That would be cool.
See Trey come back.
No doubt.
And a big part of what Trey and Aaron did last year down there also that made this a really fun place to be. It made the players have more fun. It made the crowd have more fun watching them have fun. Was the culture that they kind of created down there.
Aaron Whitefield?
Yeah, Aaron and Trey. Aaron Whitefield and Trey Cabbage really created that down there. And if we get one or both of those guys back, you'll see another really fun squad out here. Those guys know how to have fun. So.
Those would be some good locker room guys.
Oh, yeah. They're great. They're top tier locker room dudes, 100%. I just can't wait to hear. When they get back, we need to find out what spring training prank they pulled this year. Because last year, I can't remember which pitcher they pulled or which batter they pulled it on, but somebody forgot their cleats, and Mike Trout gave them a pair of Mike Trout's cleats. They said, here, take mine. And they took them from him and hid him in a locker.
Yeah.
And he couldn't find it. It was a really good story.
Yeah, I think someone almost got slugged out for that one.
It's a way better story to hear told in an Australian accent. I don't have that. Aaron Whitefield does. So you'll have to have him tell that one on one day, or whatever version they pull this year. But again, baseball is coming up. It is baseball season. However, we are finishing other sports. We are getting ready to start the process of getting into other sports as well. College basketball coming to a close. Conference tournaments in the major conferences start this week. The SEC starts on Wednesday. Alabama, that number 1 seed in the conference, ended up getting the way everything shook out this past weekend. Got a really good draw in the SEC. The way that the teams won and lost over the weekend, it could have been, even though they were the number 1 seed, a shaky draw. They could have gotten Arkansas on their side or some other tough ones, but they ended up getting a pretty good one. So Alabama's got a pretty easy draw. They're going to, I don't want to say going to need it, but they definitely need to start shooting better. This will help them.
Oh, my
some
gosh.
teams they should be able to keep in check and keep lower scoring.
You're not kidding, man.
The offensive output against Texas A&M on the road was rough. But my big takeaway from that game wasn't that, and I think a lot of Alabama fans were very defensive about this because they felt the same way going into that game. It was less that Alabama looked poor and was shooting poor, and to me, because the game really didn't mean much to them. They'd already clinched the conference. They still are looking for that number 1 overall seed. They lost. Houston winning kind of puts them above them, so it's going to be tough for Alabama to get that. But they will be a 1 seed. It's looking like already. But to me, the takeaway was how well A&M's played down the stretch. A&M's been really good down the stretch, a really good basketball team, continuing to win. They've been in the top 2, top 3 in the SEC, it seems like, all year, and they finally cracked the top 25, and they beat Alabama to end the season, going in and clinching, I believe, that 2 seed in the SEC. So huge close to the season for them. My big takeaway was, can we stop complaining about, well, Alabama's a pretender or this? It wasn't about Alabama in that game winning or losing. It was about A&M finishing off a really good stretch of the season.
Man, I told you I was worried about A&M and that they've been playing some really good basketball even before the Alabama game, and they proved it, man. They got Buzz always gets his boys ready to play this time of year, and I don't think they got to worry about getting snubbed now. They're going to make the tournament, and I think they'll have a good showing. Texas A&M's played very well, but Alabama, I mean, for guys not named Brandon Miller, they're playing horrible. I mean, no one's making shots. Mark Sears has had a bad second half of the year. Burnett coming in there when you play 10 guys deep, you got to get some shots in there, you know? I mean, guys like Dom Welch on the court, like, you putting up zeros, bro. What are you in there playing for? You know, so they got to figure that out. Their role guys got to hit some shots, or they're going to get bounced. Because, I mean, we were looking it up the other day. Of their last 8 or 9 games, they have been in the lead at halftime for one of those games.
And the big difference, too, was through most of those games, the other teams they played, whether they won or lost, Tennessee being the one that they lost, the other teams were shooting lights out. They were just, Alabama wasn't playing awful. They weren't playing their best, but they weren't playing terrible. The other team was giving them their best shot. Even though A&M's been really good and they won the game down the stretch, they didn't give Alabama their best shot. Both teams shot abysmally in the first half of that game. Alabama just really, that was the first time I've seen, and again, the game didn't mean anything. That was the first time in this last stretch where Alabama trailed at halftime, where Alabama actually looked bad. I didn't think they've looked awful these last other games. It's just the other teams had been playing better and up to their competition. Alabama looked bad on Saturday for most of that game. And then
they beat themselves up, man. The turnovers are just insane. They lost the game against Texas A&M on a horrible on a rebound. I mean, Mark Sears rebounds the ball. He can very easily just dribble the ball up the court, goes to pass the ball to Quinterly, and it goes right to a Texas A&M player with 30 seconds left. You foul him, he gets free throws, game's over. The turnovers, they're brutal, man. I mean, all these games were losing at half, and they only lost 2 out of like 8 or 9 games.
True. I'm trying to think of the second one.
You shouldn't be able to do that. I mean, just imagine if you could put together just a decent first half.
They're a very good basketball team. They're really deep. They're really talented and really deep. But you're right. I mean, something we've seen all year long against good and bad teams is they have an ability to turn the ball over a ton. And in the tournament, you're going to run into a team that, even though Alabama's got one of the best defenses out there, a team's going to get really, really hot. Maybe not against Alabama, but maybe against Alabama. They're just going to not be able to miss. And Alabama, if they're turning the ball over, it's going to be trouble.
And I think the reason they don't make the shots they're making is, like I tell you, man, they try to get back into a game in one shot. Down 12 points, all right, don't worry about it. I'll hit a 12-pointer right here. That shot doesn't exist. So it makes it tough to come back. And they go on streaks where, like, they don't have a basket for 4 or 5 minutes. That happened against Auburn. And luckily, Auburn didn't score many points during that 4 or 5 minutes. But if you just get a bucket, you know, don't shoot 10 threes in a row. Maybe just drive. Just get a bucket going, and then maybe we'll work. No. So if they could just get – whenever they hit these slumps, if they could just figure it out, like, all right, let's just go get a 2, or let's go to the line, let's reset, and we can get back into this thing. It kills them, man. It puts them in situations against Texas A&M where somehow they battle back into the game, but then you have that one mess up, and you've already costed yourself earlier in the game, so you can't come back for it. That one mess up's the nail in the coffin.
And then Auburn, for the rest of the SEC, Auburn needed a big win this weekend against shorthanded Tennessee. Zakai Ziegler tore his ACL. Auburn desperately needed a win to kind of not secure, but really get them back into the conversation of being in the tournament. They won. They beat Tennessee in Auburn Arena. And then now if they win a game or two in the SEC tournament, I feel like they're solidified to be in the big dance, which most people have them already projected to be there. But they could still, give themselves some cushion by winning a couple of games. Kentucky beating Arkansas this weekend. That's good for them. It's good for the SEC, given the fact that now like 7 or 8 teams are projected to be in the tournament. So going to have a strong showing from the conference. But you got your bracket for the SEC tournament this weekend. I hate when they don't put it in bracket form. Here's the bracket.
Here's the bracket. We listed it.
Yeah.
There's no actual bracket, though.
But I'm going to have to find an actual bracket. I'm not going to.
No, go back to that. Dude, you really, all you got to do is read. At least it's separated
but
in the rounds.
It doesn't tell you who they play next.
I mean.
Here you go. You can have this. This is an actual
point.
bracket. Alabama plays the winner of Mississippi State and Florida. Of course, that game would be Alabama's game will be on Friday. That game will be on Thursday. The Wednesday games are going to be Ole Miss and South Carolina. The winner of that one playing Tennessee. The other Wednesday game will be LSU and Georgia. The winner of that game gets to play Vanderbilt. And then you'll have Alabama, Texas A&M, Kentucky, and Missouri both securing the double byes and moving on to the quarterfinals. How about Missouri also playing well, getting in there and securing the 4th seed in the SEC tournament?
For sure.
So
They've been playing good. Mississippi State's got to they got to beat Florida, and then if they can, that Alabama game might be a make or break for them to get in the tournament.
Last 2 years, I feel like Mississippi State's, and maybe last year that wasn't the year they were on the bubble, but I feel like the last 2 years they've been on the bubble. Mississippi State's had a lot of I don't want to say controversies, not the word, drama. A lot of drama around the tournament, Mississippi State. So maybe they can get in.
Well, A&M was that team last year, and then they had a good showing in the tournament, and it still didn't work for them. So, be interesting. I know right now I think Mississippi State's slated as one of the last teams to get in there. So if they lose that game to Florida, that might be it for them.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I feel they're toast if they lose. If they don't win a game in the SEC tournament, they're probably toast. On other sports, you had the NFL Combine this past weekend, and you also had a big free agent signing this morning. Derek Carr, in the NFL, a former Oakland and Las Vegas Raiders quarterback, is now a New Orleans Saint. 4-year deal, no trade clause. He still has command and control of his future, and whether or not he will remain a Saint is going to be completely up to Derek Carr. Immediately the best quarterback in that division. Immediately.
Well, let's hear it for Derek Carr. Huh?
Well, so I've
you just topped second-year quarterback Desmond Ridder for top quarterback in the league.
I've seen that response today too, but here's why it's important for Derek Carr. He's a front runner for a playoff spot now. He wasn't that in his division before. You have Justin Herbert and Patrick Mahomes over there, Russell Wilson if they get their act together. Oakland's going to be probably a big bottom feeder in that division now if Sean Payton goes over there and turns them around. But now over there in the the NFC South, you're over there with Atlanta, as you said, Desmond Ridder, because I think Mariota's gone.
Yes.
You've got Kyle Trask until they do something in Tampa. Figure out it's Kyle Trask or Blaine Gabbert, one of those two. And
you got to think they do something. Other than that,
I'm sure. But that's what they have right now.
That's bad. Blaine Gabbert's just a golf partner. He's not a quarterback anymore. He has passed on into the Chase Daniel, Doug Peterson when he was a player, not a coach, level of backup where it's like, look, the starter likes him. He's cool. He likes hanging around. Look, quarterback meetings only got 2 or 3 dudes. Your starter's got to have a buddy. Okay, and if he doesn't like the backup, you're losing your job.
Golf partner.
Dude, one of the biggest things in backup quarterbacks is being likable. Likeable dudes stay in the league.
That's true. That's true.
You think Chase Daniel's been one of the best 60 quarterbacks in the world for the last 15 years?
Chase Daniel, Case Keenum, Blaine Gabbert.
They're not.
Yeah.
It's just they're not. But they're cool dudes. We'll keep them around. They're cool dudes. They know the playbook. We'll keep them around.
And then the other quarterback, you've got Desmond Ritter. Now you have Derek Carr. You have Kyle Trask and Blaine Gabbert as of right now, and then Sam Darnold. So, yeah, Derek Carr is immediately the best quarterback in that division. And on top of that, they're going to be the front runner to win that division and get a playoff spot. So,
And they got some – well, I was going to say they got some good pieces, but I don't know what the deal is with Kamara for next year.
I don't know what's going on with Kamara. I don't know if why can't I think of his name? Receiver broke the record a couple years ago. Cooper Kupp ended up breaking it.
Michael Thomas?
Michael Thomas. What's his
I have
deal?
no idea what's going on with him.
I don't know what's going on with
I was like, I don't know if is he injured? Does he hate the team? What's going on? I don't even know anymore.
Jameis Winston's going to get released.
Winston will be cut. I'll give you a next-gen stat right now. I saw that the projected win total for next year with Andy Dalton at quarterback for the Saints, 9 wins. With Derek Carr, 9.3.
Ooh. But you round that up, that's basically 12 or 13.
That's an undefeated season if you round up. You round up, that's a full 18-0. 17-0, excuse me. You even win a bye week on the roundup. You get a W then, too.
I'll give you one better than just your next-gen stat. I'll give you Jameis Winston's next team. He's going to be a Titan.
Oh.
Just a feeling.
Go ahead. Put the sign up. We rebuilding.
It's just a feeling that I have, and that's exactly right.
Go ahead, put that little plastic tarp up in the kitchen and stuff. We rebuilding.
Over the last few days, I've seen that the Titans during the NFL Combine were shopping around trading Derrick Henry. They're going to cut Bud Dupree to clear up cap space. He was due $17 million this year. They were talking about, or at least people on Twitter were discussing the possibility of getting rid of Jeffrey Simmons. If all that happened, I mean, you're looking for a cheap rental quarterback that you know has some experience in the league. Jameis Winston has that. You could get him cheap on a 1-year, 2-year deal, really inexpensive. That completely is the opposite of what you have in Ryan Tannehill. It just feels like a perfect fit. And if with the Texans and the Colts probably going to try to trade him, get their franchise guy this year, both of them going for a quarterback, it would not surprise me at all if the Titans go cheap quarterback option and then get in line for a number 1 quarterback in the next couple drafts.
I hate to say it, but I think it's official, folks. The Titans are back to being completely unwatchable. They're done. They're thinking about trading King Henry.
That's what I heard during the Combine.
If there was ever a team to trade one of its stars, it'll be the Tennessee Titans. I mean, for goodness sakes, they did it 2 years ago. And they finished the year with the number 1 seed in the AFC. Just 1 season removed. A.J. Brown, toodaloo. Derrick Henry's on the block. Bon voyage? Maybe. Ryan Tannehill? Who? Malik Willis? They're thinking about changing him to place kicker. Mike Vrabel? Probably going to rage break a bunch of stuff in the team headquarters this year.
You want to hear something that'll probably make you throw up?
Yeah, what's up?
This possible quarterback room. I don't know what Tannehill's future is. I don't know if he's possibly able to be dropped or cut this year because of his cap hit or whatever. But the possibility of Ryan Tannehill, Jameis Winston, Josh Dobbs, and Malik Willis.
I've never seen a team force its own rebuild before. I've never seen a team be successful and go, this is nice, and we could improve and be a little better and maybe contend for a Super Bowl. I think I'd rather rebuild. I think I'd rather go the other way. Let's be at the bottom of the league.
New GM is in there. The Titans over the last few years, some of those guys like Bud Dupree was a nice addition, but he just couldn't stay completely healthy. He had some good flashes when he was, but the offensive line is not what it was when they were trying to rebuild the defense. The defense got pretty good at one point. Now the offensive line is falling apart. Taylor Lewan is gone and should have been. I mean, I love what he's done for the Titans, but he couldn't stay healthy the last few years or unsuspended. He got suspended the beginning of one of these past few seasons. The quarterback plays bad. You have no receivers. I mean, you kind of need to rebuild. You're not just a few pieces away anymore.
No, you're not. You traded all those pieces away.
Well, one of them. One big one.
Yeah, which severely hampered all the other pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Look, let's look at the positives here. All right. If you're a Titans season ticket holder, your Sunday nights are going to be clear. because you'll never play a primetime game. You're going to have 11 a.m. kickoffs all year.
Your Thursdays will be pretty late, though.
You're
guaranteed a Jags-Titans Thursday night game on Amazon Prime.
You will no doubt get a Thursday game that probably makes Al Michaels retire. He won't be able to take it anymore after that. You have a Thursday evening that will be taken. Maybe if you're not on the road at the Jags or something. Well, it'll be at Texans now. The Jags are actually kind of good. But your Sunday evenings will be, open to spend time with the family. Have a nice dinner at the table. See what your kids are up to.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. So think of it as a family year. Rebuild your life. That maybe during the last 2 years, hey, Titans, we're looking good. Maybe you've pushed a couple things to the side. You've made football your priority. It's time to figure that back out. You can say hello back to the fam.
You know what's weird? One team that's not completely the one team that's not completely rebuilding in that division, the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The cream of the crop.
They're a playoff team this past year. They
doing an opposite Tennessee Titans.
got their quarterback, at least as of right now.
1 year removed from Urban Meyer. 1
They were in
year
the playoffs.
removed from being the laughing stock of the league.
The Texans are definitely in a full rebuild as well. The Colts, I wouldn't say full. They need a quarterback, but they still have pieces. They're still not completely hit the panic button yet. That's why I say, not in a full rebuild.
They're
The
mid-card.
Jags aren't rebuilding at all. The Colts have a little ways to go.
They're mid-range. They're all right.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to win no Super Bowl.
No.
We know that. They're going to play their fair share of 11 o'clock games.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Listen, they might sneak in one. Might sneak in a big one if
If
Jags come into town.
they play the AFC West.
The division's doing bad. We're like, I hope that game with the Jags can be on prime time. Maybe the Jags can help us out and get on TV this year. This is truly a weird time to be alive, man.
It's the Titans shopping Derrick Henry actively now. So, but
dude. If that happens, that's got to rip your heart out as a Titan fan. My brother lives in Nashville, and I've been texting him about it. He's like, I really, really would like for them to not move on from Derrick Henry.
They need the picks, and they need the cap space. They do, and Derrick Henry will be a way to get some picks, right? Everybody's at least infatuated by Derrick Henry and his ability. So, he'll gauge some interest.
My brother, he says, the only way they'd get anything for him is if they, tried to rebuild or do something like that. But he said, this guy's the whole franchise for a year. He says, just keep him for our sake, really. We don't need him, whatever, but they're going to stink with him or without him. So just keep him. Just give me one. I don't blame.
Given what the offensive line looks like, Derrick's probably like, yeah, trade, please.
Dude, which Derrick Henry is like.
I'm on the trading block? Oh, no.
Dude, but think if you're like a team like the Buffalo Bills and you could get a flyer on Derrick Henry. You'd give up some stuff for that. Like Derrick Henry to the Bills, that's wow. That's a game changer.
Yeah, I'll trade Stephon for him straight up.
Sure. We won't do nothing with him. Yeah. So if you're the Bills, that's winning.
Oh.
I don't know. Diggs is pretty.
They're not getting rid of Stephon Diggs. You can't get rid of Stephon Diggs.
Diggs is their guy. Man, I don't know.
I'll tell you who the Titans could go after as a free agent wide receiver. He'll probably have a little bit of demand, so they'll have to pay him. But I saw yesterday or this weekend that the Vikings might release Adam Thielen. Take a flyer out on him.
Thielen's he's done.
Take a flyer out on him.
He doesn't. Yeah,
he's still pretty good. He's just overshadowed by probably one of the top 3 best receivers in the NFL.
Well, he's overshadowed by that guy because he's much better.
Thielen's
had injuries. He's lost a step. He's not the guy he once was.
And he also is playing side by side Justin Jefferson,
right? Which should get him more. Targets, better matchups with guys. Right?
You know what? If you're the Bills, why don't you just go reunite Stephon Diggs and Adam Thielen together again?
Now, if you're the Bills, okay, you bring in a veteran guy who can do something for you.
They'll buy. That's all I've heard over the offseason. The whole offseason is the Bills just need a better 2 wide receiver than what they have. They've got Stephon. They need a better 2. Go get a guy that played with Stephon Diggs before. They can bond over the fact that Kirk Cousins isn't throwing on the ball anymore.
That's big.
There you go.
That could work. Move.
Did you hear? Hey, Adam, welcome to Buffalo. Our quarterback over there, he cusses.
Yeah, it's nuts. He's really good. He's kind of cool. All of his pants aren't pleated.
He said the F word.
Yeah, it's wild. But you don't know how you're gonna react.
So,
sometimes he'll wear eyeglasses for like fashion purposes, and not just for his vision, like Kirk. Think about that.
He's never one time asked me if I like it or not. Not once. He's never asked me, "Do you like that?" Not one time.
Oh man.
And the other thing that I knew was coming this weekend, we talked about it on Friday during the NFL Combine. We said the quarterbacks were going to throw on Saturday, and Kevin was sitting here with us, the guy who was supposed to produce the show, who does like a job in Arizona that he's never done before. But is he still on lunch, by the way? He's been on lunch since February 27th. So
yeah, he'll be in a little bit.
No, but
he'll clock in on Slack.
We spoke about the combine and how the quarterbacks were going to go on Saturday, and I said that the scouts and the rest of everybody on Twitter that they can react is going to fall in love with the athletic ability and the arm strength of Will Levis and Anthony Richardson. And that's exactly what happened. These are two polarizing topics over the weekend, Anthony Richardson being the big one because he went out there and he showed us something that we already knew, that he is a stupidly gifted athlete. The dude's ridiculously fast. He's got a great jump, and he's got a lot of the things that's going to be able to get him out of trouble if he were back there in the pocket, right? Like we've seen with Jalen Hurts, like we've seen with Justin Fields, like we've seen with Lamar Jackson. He's kind of broken out of the same mold of those guys in terms of athletic ability. He's really big. He's got a great arm. The only problem is, one thing you don't get to evaluate in the combine is throwing the football during an actual game scenario.
Yeah.
And Anthony Richardson could not do that. Again, comparisons, an Auburn friend of mine was like, I mean, he's the next best athlete since Cam Newton, and Florida did nothing with him last year. Billy Napier is going to get fired if Anthony Richardson, goes at the top of the draft. I said, Anthony Richardson, you're right about one thing. Anthony Richardson's going to get somebody fired. It's not going to be Billy Napier. It's going to be whatever GM trades up and takes him over Bryce Young or C.J. Stroud. If you're sitting there and you get Anthony Richardson, if you're looking for a quarterback, you're in the top 5, top 10, and you're going to get a quarterback no matter what, and you take Anthony Richardson after Bryce Young and C.J. Stroud go off the board, a little pressure's taken off of you at that point,
Definitely.
right? But if you trade up to get that guy over either Bryce or C.J. Stroud,
it's Trubisky over Mahomes.
Yeah, you're getting fired. You're going to be fired the next few years because Anthony Richardson looks great at the combine because the combine is for athletes. It's not always for football players. And Anthony Richardson has a big part of his game, or the big question mark of his game was missing from the combine. Can he throw the football during a football game? He didn't do it very well in the SEC. He completed like 53% of his passes.
He had a great vertical, though.
Yeah,
and if you've ever watched Tom Brady, you know that the key to all of his success in the NFL was his vertical leap.
How high he could jump.
Yeah. Everyone used to say that Joe Montana, if he didn't play football, he'd have been in the Olympics. he'd have been in the long jump.
He's got to learn how to throw the football, man. And if it's just one of those things where, like, yeah, the perfect scenario for him would be to go in like the third or the fourth round to a team that's pretty good, but he's not going to because the hype around him is so much better. He's going to go to a bad team and expect to turn that bad team around, be the big piece that turns him around, and I just don't think he's capable of doing it. I will tell you again what I think Justin Fields needs to do is Anthony Richardson, when he goes into the NFL, he's got a stupid gift athletically that you could put on par with Justin Fields and Jalen Hurts. He needs to do exactly what Justin Fields needs to do, and that is get with Jalen Hurts and figure out how from year 2 to year 3 he improved his arm the way he did and the work ethic that he has. Because if you don't have that work ethic, I don't care how good of an athlete you are, your arm's not going to improve that much from the SEC to the NFL if you don't put in the work that Jalen Hurts, the way that Jalen Hurts put it in.
Truly the prototype of improving your passing ability.
Absolutely, 100%.
That guy stunk at throwing the ball his freshman year of college.
He stunk throwing the ball the last year in the NFL before this year.
There you go. Yeah, that's the guy. But how many times are we going to compare dudes that look like Cam Newton to Cam Newton and be disappointed? Are we just going to keep doing this forever? Yo, Cam Newton was awesome. That guy was a freak. He went into Auburn. He had no supporting pieces. His coaching staff got fired a little while ago, and then they rehired one of the guys and then fired him later on. And he took that team and was dominant and won a national championship. Anthony Richardson had a team, and he was not dominant with those guys. He had good pieces around him. It's not like Florida's crap. Like there's a difference. You can't just look at a guy that because he looks like Cam Newton and say, well, he's just like Cam Newton. Like Cam Newton immediately showed himself as I'm more talented than everybody I step on the field with in college football. Anthony Richardson never showed that.
He had some good flashes, man. He really did. He again,
he had some great flashes, no doubt. A lot of guys have great flashes.
Amazing
but Cam
athlete.
Newton was unstoppable every single time he played a game at Auburn.
And on the other side of it too, if you're Anthony Richardson, thank God for the combine because you get to show off all your best features while hiding the one that you need to improve on the most. It's a win-win scenario for Anthony Richardson at the combine because you're going to get everybody talking about you and they get to see all the things you already know that you're good at. Similar with Will Levis. Another guy I was really impressed with. I was getting my haircut on Saturday morning when the quarterbacks were running their 40s, and I got to watch Stetson Bennett run his 40.
What did he clock in at?
His second one was a lot slower. Both of them, he looked pretty slow running, but his first one was like a low 4.6. It's like a 4.61. That's a lot better than I thought what Stetson would run. His second one was like 4.77. But
something about his face makes him look slow.
Just the whole thing, he looked like he was running real slow. And then
his run face looks like there's a lot of strain in his run face.
His second one was 4.77, but the first one was like 4.64 or something, 4.61. But when he ran it,
It's pretty solid.
Yeah, it was very solid. Very impressed with Stetson Bennett. So surprised anyway, I should say.
That's going to be your third, fourth round guy that maybe gets a shot or maybe just goes the A.J. McCarron route.
Hey,
goes
Stetson,
back up the whole time. I don't know.
I was going to say, at the end of the day, he might be one of those Blaine Gabbert type guys. Might just be a cool dude. You know what I mean?
Is he a cool dude? They like having him around?
He likes to go knock on doors at 6 a.m. while completely hammered.
I don't know. Blaine Gabbert ain't never done that. You ever heard any stories about Blaine Gabbert doing that? Name one story you've heard about Blaine Gabbert. Go.
Oh, well.
Exactly. None. Not one. No story guy. That's what I want to back up. I want you to have a good short game, and I want you to have no life. And I want you to be kind of funny at random times.
Could you just imagine trying to put up with that in the NFL? It was kind of, who was it? Was it Chad Kelly for Ole Miss? He ended up in someone else's house.
He did. He woke up in some kid's bedroom or something. They weren't even in there, and he's like, "What are you doing in my room?" And the guy's like, "I'm gonna shoot you.
He was on their couch.
Get out of my house."
He was like, "Is that Chad Kelly? I'm gonna shoot him."
What are you doing in my room? I'm going to kill you. That's not a backup. How long Chad Kelly making the league? 3 months?
No, he's in one of the either XFL or USFL, I think.
Yeah,
somewhere.
Exactly. You know who's good enough to play in the XFL? Blaine Gabbert. You know why he's not? Because he don't go barging into people's houses.
That's right. Just 6 a.m. on the eve of the Super Bowl. Is your refrigerator running?
Yeah. Blaine Gabbert's answering that door. He's going, "Dude, get out of here. All right, I'm trying to be a backup in this league. This is why you're not. Get out of here." I know exactly how my refrigerator is working because I checked it earlier at 9 p.m. instead of being out. I stayed home. You know what I did tonight? I repaired my refrigerator. And it didn't even need repairs. Why? Because I'm always ready. I'm a backup.
Final story that I wanted to go into here, a local basketball story. The headline from AL.com, Hoover seeks fair rules after girls denied trophy for defeating boys basketball team. The city of Hoover says it's invited both youth teams to be recognized at a city council meeting tonight following a controversy over a game in a recreational youth league. The city, in a statement released Monday, also said its Parks and Recreations Department is reviewing its youth athletic league policies, quote, to ensure that all competition and recognition procedures are fair to all participants and that those procedures are more clearly understood. According to parents, a group of fifth-grade Hoover girls, which played a boys' team in a recreational youth league, were not recognized as champions despite winning the league title, when the trophy was instead awarded to the boys who lost the game.
What?
In a Facebook post, the mom of one of the daughters on the winning team said the girls were told before the title game that they could play in the championship, quote, but if they won, they wouldn't be allowed to have the trophy. She goes on to say, "Excuse me, what? What did they do to get disqualified? Did they not pay their dues? Did they not play up a level of competition? Oh, it's because they're girls." She goes on to say, the article goes on to say, the girls who played in the competitive girls league for 3 years representing Spain Park were told that they could not continue to use Hoover gyms for their practices unless they joined the city's youth recreational league and play with the boys. So, according to a parent, the girls were told before the title game that they could play in the championship, but if they won, you could not have the trophy. In response, the city says its Parks and Recreations Department for many years has allowed elite, quote, elite teams to participate in tournaments. The teams are not sought out by the department, but come to ask to participate. Those teams are selected based on skill and not similar to regular league teams. Because of this, according to the city, teams must willingly agree to compete above their grade range. If an elite team participates in an HPRD youth tournament and makes it to the championship round, the rules state that they cannot receive a trophy, and as a result of that win, or they could not accept a trophy as a result of that win. Coaches are also made aware of this. Only the team that is grade appropriate has ever been eligible to be recognized as the tournament champions, the city states. This is applied to both boys and girls teams in the city. In the recent tournament, another boys team won a championship game but were not named champions because they were competing outside their grade group. And then finally, quote, this team included the son of a city Hoover elected official, the city said. This clearly indicates that the same rules apply to all teams regardless of gender. Ooh. So the headline of the article makes it sound like, wow, these girls are being treated very unfairly. It sounds like the big issue here was communication. The girls were allowed to go in and they were allowed to compete above their age group, which they did. It said that the Facebook post also said that they were middle of the pack most of the season, losing several one-point games. Makes it to the championship game. They win that championship game. It is not until right before the championship game is when they're told the rule. The rule was the rule. People have been aware of it. It's actually come into play several years before, including a team that had a Hoover elected official, the kid of a Hoover elected official on it, did not get to take home a trophy even though they won the league. So it's a rule that has been implemented before. The problem is they weren't told about that rule until the day or right before the championship game. That's the big issue here. Because and then obviously if you want to turn around after this incident and change the rules, I'm okay with that too. Because, I mean, if you're playing up an age group,
the girls were playing up an age group.
And playing the boys. They were playing up an age group and they were playing the boys, and they won, and they get no recognition for it. That's, I mean, even though it's a rule, I'm glad that this is, and it was applied correctly, I'm glad that they're bringing potential changes aware because, I mean, it's a pretty easy thing to change, right? A pretty common sense thing to say, hey, the people that actually won, especially if they're playing up a group and they're playing boys, if they won, they won. They should get something.
City official's son gets special treatment. Feels a little bit like that Murdoch movie I watched on the Netflix.
He doesn't get special treatment. That was the thing. The team. So they were saying.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I tried to get real dramatic there.
They were given an example of how there was another in recent years. Another boys team was playing up an age group, same way the girls were. And they won the league, but they didn't get the trophy because they were playing up an age group. So, and on that team that won was the son of the city official. So the son of the city official didn't even get a trophy, even though they won because of the rule. So
I'd like to retract my Murdoch comparison to the city of Hoover's officials. I jumped it a little there. All right, good for them. All right, as a guy who played on a rec basketball team that went 2-28. And got dead last in the league, and whose buddies all played on the number one team in the rec championship. No one cared about who won that league. No one cared about I don't think anyone even got a trophy. I think you got a T-shirt. Like no one cares. This is rec league basketball. These girls are playing up age and against boys, and they win the whole tournament, and then they go and give the trophy to the boys who lost. That's so lame, man.
That's super lame.
We give everyone trophies, and then and then we have the trophies to give to the right people. And it's like, nah, they didn't really win it though. Wait, what? But they won. Yeah, but they didn't. They filled out the packet of forms labeled B, and this league only takes teams that filled out the packet of forms labeled C. So how am I supposed to give them $75 worth of medals now? They didn't fill out the right papers. What do you expect me to get those plastic medals that were painted gold by the trophy shop down the road that gave us $100 to use their trophies and put them on the championship T-shirt. You're telling me I got to give those to girls now? The people are going to look at this league like it's a joke. I won't have that, pal. Give the trophy to the team that lost, and let's do this respectfully. What the hell?
My favorite part of that whole story was the beginning when you tried to compare a sixth or seventh grade boy to the murder trials that are on Netflix.
All right, dude. That's the day and age we live too. It got the hooks in me. I went for the sensational route off the beginning. But, I did a little research and immediately realized I was wrong there.
I'm the research department over here.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Try to get a little conspiracy theory there, and it bit me. But that's crazy. That dude with the city official team years ago or whatever, they won the game, right? Unless they were playing, down, or they were
won, they won the game, but they were the same situation that the girls were in, so he did not get the trophy even though they won.
Unless they were like a travel ball team on the same level as the rec ball team, I get it, because that's going to be a much better talent pool. Rec basketball is like all the people that can't play school ball or travel and just want to play basketball and have some fun. That was me. Like our basketball team is all 6'6" and taller. I'm like, well, I'm not even going to try out. If I can go play rec ball and be like Michael Jordan over there and, maybe get a T-shirt or something, that'd be cool. This is crazy, dude.
You ever win any scoring titles over there?
Oh, yeah. I was a double-double machine senior year, dude.
Double-double in what? Fouls and ejections?
No, points. Heart. Mostly heart. But also points.
Right.
They didn't keep any other stats because it was a rec basketball league. I counted my own points. That's the only reason I know that.
I just love like they're about to give. All right, the girls won. All right, but here's the deal: if we give this trophy to the boys, we're not even gonna think of this league. Like the opinion they have of their league is unbelievably high for a rec league or whatever it is.
My dad didn't get laid off from his job and then started this as an easy way to make money from people in the community for us to just start giving trophies to girls. Okay, all right. This league has gravitas. Okay.
The HCC is going to be the laughingstock of community centers. Are you kidding me?
Do you realize how expensive the stickers were that I had to put over the 2019 soccer championship that these trophies were originally ordered for that we didn't use all of, that we are now repurposing for this league? Do you realize the amount of money I spent on stickers to cover that up?
Look at that trophy. Who's on top of that? Do you see a girl on top of that trophy?
No.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's cost me a whole $30 to get that changed, pal.
This trophy identifies as a boys' league trophy, okay? And we're going to keep it that way. But the boys lost by 50. You give those losers the trophy right now. And how I wish the girls' team stayed for the trophy ceremony too. And they're like, and now the winner of the league, the boys you just watched lose the game. Now number one, here he is, Peter Parker. And the girls just stand there and go, oh, way to go, Pete. Yeah, great game, Pete. How's that trophy? You happy with that one? Okay. And now center, here's Dave Park. Hey, great job down there, Dave. Great job. You played so well that you lost. Good job. Enjoy your trophy. They should have just sat there and demeaned the whole
How
thing.
does that trophy ceremony work there after that? Like, all right, and now you're runners-up, and you get this big, giant trophy. Everybody gets trophies. You're runners-up, ladies and gentlemen. They got beat by 30. Congratulations. And now the winners. All right, move it along, girls. Good job, good job, good job, good job. All right, come on.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
Nice
Get
job.
Get out of here.
There's your winners, by the way.
Now let's give out the league MVP trophy. Where's that kid on the crappy team that never plays? We're going to give it to him. Why not? MVP of the league. It's going to go to my dog.
Because why not?
Why not? I got a trophy. I'm going to give him one. He's a good boy. That's crazy, man. See, that's taking a situation that if they just would have given the trophy to the girls, no one would have ever heard about it.
Mm-hmm.
But you do that nowadays? You're going to give the boys a trophy?
What do you tell the boys that lost? They got the trophy. Like, hey, congratulations, you got your butt kicked. But the rules are the rules are the rules.
Well, fellas, I got good news. You're not girls. How's it feel to be champs? All right, get it in. Break it down. Champs on 3. 1, 2, 3, 2. I got good news and bad news, boys. Bad news is you all suck at basketball. Good news is that you suck so bad is that we had to play a girls team from another league, and they can't even win a trophy. So, hey, we're the last ones left. We win. We're the best.
All right, boys, bring it in, bring it in, bring it in. All right.
Can you say pizza party? Bah, 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 bah. We getting stuffed crust, yo.
Bring it in, boys. Not only did you win the trophy today, We set a record. We are the only. We got to dress this up the best way we can. We are the only team in league history to win our tournament when being outscored by the opponent. Can I get a dogs on 3? 1, 2, 3, dogs.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Can't say
why
we
do you
don't-
even play the game? What do we even play the game for? Just give the boys the medal.
Oh man.
At least I could have thought, like, yeah, we would have won that game. At least give them the mystery.
Only team to win their league by being outscored by their opponent. Good job, boys. Way to not be girls.
I played in a flag football tournament in Tennessee a couple years ago, and I made it the championship game. And then both teams were playing, and there was some injuries, and just it got out of hand. There were just fist fights every play, like it wasn't even football anymore. And so both sides just immediately, or eventually, got to they got to a truce. It was like, look, we'll just call it a tie. We'll split the championship money. Everyone can go home and not be more injured. All right, where's the league director? And then we found out the league director took all the money and left. So we didn't get anything.
What?
This is somehow worse. At least at the end of the day, I was like, you know what? We deserve to get some of that money, but that guy swindled us good. He held the championship game. He knew all of us would be occupied. He got in his car, whoop, and he won the championship. Like, he won it. He took it. He won that. The girls won that game, and they got a second-place trophy.
Oh, my gosh. They didn't get anything.
They didn't even get nothing.
That's crazy. All right, we're going to wrap it up on that one. Thank you guys for watching. We'll be back on Wednesday when the SEC basketball tournament starts. We'll have a little bit basketball to talk about then. We'll talk a little more baseball as we get closer. On Wednesday, I believe our media guy's flying out to spring training. So he's going to be out there. Aaron's going out there. So
Oh, Aaron's going out there? Oh, cool.
he's going out to spring training on Wednesday. We're getting closer to baseball. We'll talk more Trash Pandas. We'll talk more basketball. We'll talk more of whatever's going on. I think the XFL and the USFL are playing. If you want to talk about that, we can. You guys get in your suggestions on YouTube, on Twitter, wherever you guys want to get at us, at Tony Trash Panda, at Tricky Ricky RCTP. For Tricky Ricky, I'm Tony Mack. We will be back on Wednesday. It's the Bullpen.
If I ever see that dude that took all that money, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm probably not going to do anything. But yeah.
He's got a league integrity to uphold, okay?
He yelled, I'm not kidding, as he left. He said, I got bills to pay. I'm thinking,
You know, I think
you invented bills?
was
Huh?
was he the coach from that bad basketball commercial?
Probably.
He was like, he cost me my job.
I heard he's coaching a boys rec basketball team in Hoover.